Tomorrow, a special ceremony will be held in the creation of a brand new aircraft carrier that will bear the name of Gerald R. Ford. Political reporter Rick Alvin is in Virginia tonight covering this big event. Rick?
Just got our first look today of the place where they're going to build this, which is really remarkable because there is such a large area that is dedicated for building these mammoth ships. In fact, the most recently constructed aircraft carrier, the USS George Herbert Walker Bush, is still there in port and was able to stand close enough to it today to get a real sense of just how big this is. But the Ford carrier is going to be much different. It's going to be built on a new platform. It's a whole new class. It'll be the Ford class of carriers. And we were able to visit the area, look at the area where the keel laying will take place tomorrow. And what it really means is there's a lot of this that's already built. And what they'll do is they'll start with the keel laying tomorrow. A lot of the parts have already been assembled, and they'll start moving those in, build it in dry dock, ultimately flood that dry dock, float that ship. But that's about 5 years from now, actually about 6 years from now, before the Navy will take possession of that ship. And there's so much to tell you about it, but before we get too far off the beaten path, I did find something interesting today. While I was there at the shipyard, this mammoth facility, somebody came up to me and said, "Would you like to meet the welder?" Now, this welder, of course, there are a lot of welders that will work on the ship, but this particular welder is the one who tomorrow, when Susan Ford, who is the sponsor of the ship as the president's daughter, will put her initials in chalk on the keel, then this welder will come along and weld her initials in place for all time. Well, it so happens this welder is from Jackson, Michigan. He signed on with Northrop Grumman after September 11th, got a job when business picked up, and I asked him today how big a deal it was for him to be the one who was going to be able to forever immortalize Susan Ford's initials on the USS Gerald R. Ford.
It means a lot because I figure the shipyard here, they have very few people from Michigan. Plus they have, close to 20,000, almost 22,000 people working here right now. So that's be the one person pick, to weld the initials. It means a big deal.
Yeah, it's all a big deal. In fact, this whole day tomorrow is going to be a big deal. Let me explain a couple of things. You should have seen some video there from Northrop Grumman. There's a lot to show you, and I would have loved to have spent the day videotaping. But as you can understand, this is a very secure location, so we're only allowed to shoot a very little bit of this, and all of the animation and any of the other things you may have seen would have been supplied by the manufacturer. It's a security issue for the United States Navy and, of course, for the Department of Defense. But tomorrow, if the weather is right, if everything holds, you'll actually see the first parts of that ship going together. Of course, we'll be there to bring you that coverage as the Gerald Ford, a new class of carriers, gets started to be delivered in about 2015. In Newport News, Virginia, I'm Rick Alvin. Back to you.